Oh, a microphony.
And a phony at the mic.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
The Doctor of Discernment is now online.
You know, much like my show, in that it's a local reaction to things that are happening on a federal level.
Dispensing a daily dose of common sense. No prescription required.
Wow, do I have a boatload of stuff for you, from the crazy to the absurd. Let's start getting into it because, I mean, it is bizarro world out there. And I say, if it's obvious to me, should be obvious to everybody. Oh, wow. Who could have seen this coming?
This is the Fourth Hour with Greg Belfrage.
Hold on to your butts.
Broadcasting from the basement bunker beneath Kettle Radio. Welcome to the Fourth Hour with Greg Belfrage. The president has been responding to transgenders who are participating in California in sports, threatening large-scale fines on California after this trans athlete winning girls' track events. So he said this early today. Large-scale fines will be slapped on California, and this is this transgender athlete who picked up several wins. So the president of Truth Social said, a biological male competed in California's girls' state finals, winning big, despite the fact that they were warned by me not to do so. And he said his Governor Gavin Newsom fully understands large-scale fines will be imposed. Now, remember that Gavin Newsom had said that he was concerned about this. Yeah. And then did absolutely nothing. It was during an interview with Charlie Kirk that, well, it was Gavin Newsom's podcast with Charlie Kirk, and they were having a conversation. This was back in March. It made news at the time. We talked about it on the radio show when Newsom said it's deeply unfair to allow transgender athletes to compete against biological women. So it's deeply unfair. And what do you do about it? Nothing. You know, he did absolutely nothing. So I'm trying to see if there's anything else new from Trump here. I don't think. Well, you've got the Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights threatening to take legal action against California over this. So the president's made it very, very clear. Newsom's office, no response from them. Hardly a surprise. I think on the part of Gavin Newsom, it was just all, you know, he's just positioning himself. I don't think there's any real commitment there to protecting women's sports for women and for girls. There's no real commitment there. Also, and we'll see. I mean, I hope he proves me wrong. We got Republicans taking fire at PBS funding after a Sesame Street Pride Month post. So I want to show it to you. Here it is. On our street, everyone is welcome. Together, let's build a world where every person and family feels loved and respected for who they are. Okay with that? And then Happy Pride Month, says Sesame Street. And you've got Republicans taking aim at this. Representative Mary Miller, PBS shamelessly grooming our children while collecting taxpayer dollars. This is evil. Should infuriate every parent in America. Defund, she says. That, by the way, is not Senator Mike Lee. Caught my attention. It's not Senator Lee. Representative Andy Biggs. PBS is grooming children on American taxpayers' dime. This is unacceptable. Congress must defund them. Hold the executives accountable. Let's see this is Donald Trump's team. Yeah, the president signing an executive order then ending the taxpayers' subsidization of NPR and PBS. Yeah. This was at the beginning of May. You'll remember we talked about it at the time, defunding NPR, PBS, and this is why we're talking about it, is because of this kind of stuff. So they have just done that. Senator John Fetterman is somebody from time to time that really catches my attention. He was talking about he's talking about his own party, the way that the Democrats are handling the border. And I want to give credit. This was during a discussion with Senator Dave McCormick at the Senate Project. And Fetterman talked about what's going on in the president's one big beautiful bill. And he's saying there is one element of the big beautiful bill that he could support. Here's Senator Fetterman talking about that.
A lot. I mean, there was that joke or that quote. It's like, hey, now after a couple billions, that might matter sometime. And now we're talking $37 trillion. And now that's a significant danger for our nation's future, honestly, as well. But if I had to find something in the big, beautiful bill that I could support that, and that's a mistake that our party made, and that's the border. I absolutely support those kinds of investment to make our border security as well now, too.
Because it's common sense, man.
That's when I've lost some support in my party, that I thought the border was really important, and our party did not handle the border appropriately. Not look at the numbers. 267,000, 300,000 people showing up at our border, and we can all agree that's roughly the size of Pittsburgh. Now, that's unacceptable, and that's national security issue, and that's chaos. So a secure border, being very pro-immigration, that's as I am as a Democrat. It's like trying to think two things must be true, and sometimes that's put me at the odds of my party and my base to assume that I've changed my values, and that's never changed. That's never changed. Two things must be true, because we can't pretend that we can take care of if there's 300,000 people showing up every month, not once a year, every month. And that's a truth and it was appropriate. And now trying to find a way forward when we both represent the most purple part of America, and during the middle of all of it.
All right, I'm gonna end it there, because you get the gist of what he's saying there, and I think he's absolutely right. He's saying I'm very pro-immigration. Hey, so am I. I just want people to play by the rules. I'm very pro-immigration. I'm not saying we should be isolationists. I'm not saying let's close the country. Let's not let anybody in. I'm very pro-immigration. And this is where, this is the problem of the Democrat Party, and John Fetterman is the one pointing it out, and understandably, rightly so. He's absolutely correct, Fetterman is, that you can be pro-border, you can be, also pro-immigration at the same time. But Democrats can't be. The party at large cannot be. And so then you begin to ask yourself, well, why is it that the Democrat Party just refuses to enforce the border? They refuse to enforce it. Fetterman would, but the party at large refuses to enforce it. In fact, they demonize people who are in favor of enforcing it. Why is that? I think you've got to ask yourself that question, and you come to some really chilling conclusions as to where Democrats stand on this issue and what they're trying to do. I believe for a long time that you've got people within the Democratic Party who are trying to fold the country. They're trying to destroy the country. And they're doing that throughout the Democrat Party. And that should never be the case. We should all, I've said it on the show, I don't know how many times, that you and I can disagree about things. We can have a different point of view. But, but do that as Americans. And this would have never been an issue, 30, 40, 50 years ago. You never would have, especially, I think, even just within the course of the last few years, as the Democrat Party has just gotten more and more lost on those issues. And I don't think they are ready to come out of the woods anytime soon. All right, other stories to share with you this morning. What do you think about this? These parents, and I welcome your comments. So leave your thoughts in the comment section as I walk you through this story. Parents of a 7-year-old who was killed while walking home from the store have been charged for leaving him unattended. And he was fatally struck by a car. The driver of the car, by the way, facing no charges, an elderly woman, I believe. But the mother is saying she had allowed her sons to walk to the nearby grocery store. Oh, man, you look at the photos of these boys, the area here where he was struck. Oh, heartbreaking stuff. So the parents were arrested last week, each charged with involuntary manslaughter and child neglect, denied permission to attend their son's funeral. Oh, man. Wow. So police said they have sympathy here for the family, but investigation revealed the children were unsupervised at the time that the boy stepped into traffic. So I'm not entirely sure what that means. Unsupervised, what, the parents weren't home or the parents not standing right there? Do you need to be with your 7-year-old when they're crossing the street? I wouldn't have been. I would, by that point, it's maybe a little, but the driver not facing any charges. The boy was hit. He ran out into the street. His brother tried to hold him back. She immediately stopped her car, held the dying boy in her arms, and which would be horrific, I think. Would you want to be that person? You hit a child and you hold the child as they die in your arms? Oh, I wouldn't wish that on anybody, man. So she tried to comfort the 7-year-old as they waited for first responders and saying, that he wasn't alone. This is a witness who saw this, saying, stay with us, sweetheart. Going to be all right. Stay with us. So the boy died from his injuries at the hospital hours later. Parents facing charges for allowing the child, again, they're saying unsupervised. What does that mean? Were the parents not home and the boys then took it upon themselves to leave? Or was mom home and the boys being boys, hey, can we go to the store, Mom? Can we go to the store? Yeah, absolutely. Go to the store. And left. Be interesting to see. I think I would need that detail, because otherwise charges against the parents, that's just a heartbreaking case. I tend to trust law enforcement. All right, let's lighten it up here a little bit, because there's a video of a pet zebra that escaped in Tennessee, of all places. You get a zebra running amok down. Literally, there it is. There it is, running down the road in Tennessee. There's some video here. I'll get to it. So other photo. Now that's something you don't see every day. Zebra out on your street corner. So there it is, close up. And then I'll get you the video here in a moment. Here we go, right here. There it goes, running down the street. In Tennessee, of all places. That is crazy. So let's see how this wound up. As of yesterday, the zebra is still at large. According to authorities, they shared an update on social media. Zebras characterized as Class 3 animals in Tennessee. That means that, along with llamas, camels, and giraffes, they do not require special permits or paperwork to be kept as pets. However, you do need to keep them under control. You can't be letting them run down the side of the highway. Oh no, did I just let me see. I had one other. Okay, here we go. There was one other story I want to share with you. This is and I mentioned this on the air this morning. So-called video of Bigfoot. I'm going to let you be the judge. I want you to see this. This is from Outkick.com, and here's the video. So witnesses claim to have captured video of a Bigfoot-like creature. Now I'm going to share this video and then a second one, which is a split screen, and they zoom in on the so-called creature. I'm going to let you be the judge. So share your thoughts in the comment section. There it is.
That's really like
a massive Bigfoot like. How can you tell? How can you tell? I have no idea of scale. That could be a little person for all I know, wearing a costume. So now there's a side by side. Where is it? These are all reactions. This is a piece of Outkick, but there's a side by side video as well that I want to show you. So folks are reacting. Here it is. This is the side by side. On this side, this is the video I showed you at first on the right-hand side here. That's the video you just saw. On the left-hand side, you're going to see it zoomed in. So here it comes.
Colorado River Expedition captured this while hiking down to the upper Colorado River. What did they capture? Was this the elusive Bigfoot? Is there a portal near the Colorado River where they're coming and going? Are they slipping in and out from the third dimension to the lower fourth? Who has answers?
Who has answers? That's did you see it? Did you? It looked like a slee stack for those, what Land of the Lost. Remember the slee stack? That's what that's what it looked like to me. And that is a wrap from the bunker today. Thank you so much for being here. You made it to the end of the video, so you are part of my gallery of champions. You're very much appreciated. A special salute to the Bunker Brigade. That's the crew that's here each and every day. Couldn't do it without all of you. Hit the like button, please, before you leave. That would be very greatly appreciated. And we'll leave it there for today. Until tomorrow, underground to go.